After the mixed reception of Thor: Love and Thunder, Chris Hemsworth's Thor might finally get the fresh direction he deserves in Avengers: Doomsday and Secret Wars, even if Thor 5 isn't part of the plan. So let's break down everything we know so far. Throughout 14 years' worth of movie appearances, Thor Odinson's MCU journey has gone through multiple highs and lows. While the Infinity Saga concluded on a high note for Thor, thanks to his successful efforts to overcome loss in Avengers: Endgame, Thor: Love and Thunder set him back by sending him on a carefree quest to defeat Gorr the God Butcher, who failed to be a threatening villain on every front. Thor's abrupt character regression in Thor: Love and Thunder calls for a drastic change in tone for his next MCU appearance. Expectations are high for Thor 5, to the point that Chris Hemsworth himself wants Thor 5 to take a bold direction. Little is known about Thor 5's plot and cast, but Hercules' introduction in Thor: Love and Thunder's post-credit scene suggests that the MCU's next Thor movie will see the Norse god of thunder duke it out with the Olympian demigod. It's important to note, however, that Thor 5 may be put on hold for a while, as the MCU slate is pretty crowded. The Avengers movies have been essential for Thor's evolution. Though a strong installment, Kenneth Branagh's Thor struggled to match the popularity of Phase 1's Iron Man, Captain America: The First Avenger, and The Avengers. The Avengers, in turn, established Chris Hemsworth's Thor as a powerful and charismatic member of Earth's mightiest heroes. Then, Thor: The Dark World became one of the worst-received MCU projects at the time. Avengers: Age of Ultron alleviated the blow with another team-up, and Thor: Ragnarok made a huge splash as a massive hit in Phase 3. Avengers: Infinity War and Endgame finished cementing Thor as one of the MCU's main stars shortly after. Looking back, Chris Hemsworth's Thor has been at his best when he's part of a team. Thor: The Dark World, and Thor: Love and Thunder were among the least popular installments of their respective phases, while the Avengers, Age of Ultron, Infinity War, and Endgame gave Thor a sizable role in the plot. Even Thor: Ragnarok, which centers around an extremely personal story for the God of Thunder, is technically a team-up with Mark Ruffalo's Hulk, as it adapts a large portion of Marvel's Planet Hulk storyline and sets up key plot points for both heroes. Avengers: Doomsday and Secret Wars could restore Thor's popularity before Thor 5 arrives to take the God of Thunder's MCU story in a brand new direction. Not only is Thor one of the most experienced Avengers still active in the multiverse saga, but he's also one of the few heroes powerful enough to go toe-to-toe with Doctor Doom. Thor could take his battle seriously once again once he realizes he's facing a threat much bigger than Hela and Thanos. The end of the MCU multiverse could remind Thor of the pain he went through when he witnessed Asgard's collapse. So far, no official Avengers team has been assembled in the multiverse saga. Iron Man, Black Widow, and Scarlet Witch are dead. Steve Rogers and Clint Barton have retired. Spider-Man is no longer an active member of Earth's mightiest heroes. As an original Avenger, Thor could easily take the role of a leader in Doomsday and Secret Wars. The wisdom Thor has acquired from several battles with the Avengers makes him an excellent candidate to inherit that role from Steve Rogers and Tony Stark, and the knowledge of both earthly and cosmic threats is just the cherry on top. Marvel's 2015 Secret Wars comic storyline will likely provide a large part of the source material for Doomsday and Secret Wars, as the source material centers around the multiverse's destruction through incursions, features Doctor Doom as the main antagonist, and uses Molecule Man in a similar capacity as the MCU's anchor beings introduced in Deadpool and Wolverine. The MCU's two-part Secret Wars adaptation may also draw inspiration from 1985's original Secret Wars comics and other parts of Marvel Comics lore, but it's safe to say that Phase 6's team-up events will give its heroes similar roles to the comics. In the comics, Doctor Doom acquires the Beyonder's power and creates his own reality following the death of the Marvel Multiverse. As Battleworld's ruler, God Emperor Doom orders Sheriff Strange to form a police force composed of dozens of Thor variants. The Thor Corps serve God Emperor Doom and fend off any individual who could threaten the stability of Doom's post-apocalyptic empire. In the MCU's Avengers: Doomsday and Secret Wars, Chris Hemsworth's Thor could either fight Robert Downey Jr.'s Doctor Doom to prevent the Thor Corps from being created, or find himself forced to work for the supervillain. Several multiverse saga installments have taken advantage of the MCU multiverse to present scenes, or full-fledged movies, focusing on multiversal fight scenes starring different variants of the same character. For instance, Loki featured a group of Loki variant survivors in the Void, and Spider-Man No Way Home centered around the MCU's Spider-Man joining forces with two of his multiversal variants. Even Phase 3's Avengers Endgame saw Chris Evans' Steve Rogers fight his own variant while time traveling. Avengers Doomsday and Avengers Secret Wars Thor Core could offer Chris Hemsworth's Thor the chance to join in the multiversal fun before Thor 5. On the flip side, there's also the possibility that we could see Thor face an entirely different threat. If Sentry is really being set up in Thunderbolts to go toe-to-toe with Thor instead of the team, then Thor 5 might be heading towards something huge, maybe even a full-on Siege adaptation. Secret Invasion might not have been a hit, but it did one thing right: it set the stage for a war against aliens on Earth. The US president declared open season on non-humans, and that includes Asgardians, since New Asgard is literally sitting on Earth. If people start hunting Skrulls, it's only a matter of time before Asgardians get targeted too. In the comics, Siege was all about Norman Osborn leading an attack on Asgard, and with the way things are shaping up, the MCU could be building toward a version of that storyline. And let's talk about Chris Hemsworth. He knows Love and Thunder wasn't exactly what fans wanted. In an interview with Vanity Fair, he admitted he feels like he owes the audience a better Thor movie. So if Thor 5 happens, they'll want to go all in, and what better way than giving him a real threat? Enter Sentry. In the comics, Sentry was Osborn's ultimate weapon when they attacked Asgard. Now, the MCU doesn't have Osborn yet, but it does have Contessa Valentina Allegra de Fontaine, who's pulling the strings behind the Thunderbolts. If she's the one controlling Sentry, we could see Siege play out in a whole new way, with Thor fighting to defend New Asgard from an all-powerful, unstable force. And honestly, that's exactly what Thor needs right now, a serious fight that isn't just about cracking jokes. Sentry, especially with his dark side, the Void, is no joke. In the comics, he wiped out millions. If Marvel really leans into that, he could be the most terrifying villain Thor has ever faced, and Thor 5 might just be the high-stakes, action-packed comeback that the God of Thunder deserves. And that's a wrap for today's video. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one. Drop your ideas for future videos in the comments. We're always down to hear what you want to see next. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, because we got some great updates coming soon on which movie will kick off the MCU's mutant saga and what's next for the Inhumans. Stay locked in, and let us know your thoughts on today's topic in the comments.